Thank you so much for a very, very informative sharing. Particularly, it's almost like a blueprint on the development of digital economy. We'll now move into an interactive roundtable discussion. Our panelists coming from various backgrounds and nations will share their views on what they find most attractive about China. These personal narratives, these stories of discovery, fascination, and engagement with China will help us to further understand and connect with the possibilities this country has to offer. The following interactive session will be moderated with Ms. Lisbeth Van Pardon. She is the editorial consultant of Beijing Review, China's only national English weekly news magazine. She'll be joined by Philip Fu Hong Chuan, Donna, Conrad, Rita, and Gibran.
All right. Well, it's a very good thing I brought this scarf. I didn't know the seats were going to be this low. Let's keep it very clean and chaste now, shall we? Yeah. Okay, welcome. Well, everybody is kind of falling asleep. I also saw that half the audience left, so let's zhuzh it up a little, guys. We have Donatien, we have Trang, we have Philippe, we have Conrad, we have Rita, and we have Gibran. Did I get all of those right?
Right.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's... And I'm Elsbeth. Yeah, 小白也可以. And yeah, so we're just going to delve into your experiences. So let's just have some casual fun with it. Now, first of all, apparently you had a meeting with this ancient sage called Confucius. Pop quiz. When did the man live? Anyone?
I'm not sure, so forgive if I'm wrong on the dates, but I think somewhere around 497 BC. No, yeah, 497 BC to 541 or something like that. Around something like that. I might have shortened his age a bit, I guess.
551 to 479 BC.
Yeah.
差不多ish. We'll take it. We'll take it. But who of you can still, you know, give me some of his quotes? Because I understand that's something you had to do.
I can't one because I really like the one. Do you want to say it?
I believe Philippe. I saw Philippe or Trang.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Actually, other people have more beautiful voices than I do, but the quote is 学而不思则罔，思而不学则殆。
Nice.
There's another Confucius quote that I love. It's 脚踏实地. It means something like, in my translation, being very pragmatic, but thinking out loud and thinking ahead. That's what I think China is in all of these years that I've been coming here. And I think that translates a lot the real economy and digital economy as well, because it's very pragmatic. It gets what people really need. So that phrase describes a lot of China as well.
All right, nice. You impressed the Chinese audience. So that's enough for Kongzi. Let's move on. So can I first get a show of hands? Who are China first-timers? 1, 2... Okay, 1, 2. Who are the China residents? Donatien. We work for the same Waiwenju, yeah.
Yeah, I have been here for the last 7 years, and of course we are from the same institution, CICG.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have once been in the same department of Beijing Review.
Oh, well, that's also good to know. We're learning a lot, and so is the audience. Trang?
So I used to be in Beijing, so before the pandemic. So I was at Beita.
Ah, okay. Oh, Beita, nice.
I've been coming to China at least since the 2008 Olympics. So I saw all of this transformation from digital economy, from real economy to digital economy, let's say, happening. And not only that, but also the reform of opening up, I mean, both private, public sectors and private enterprises, academic institutions, following up what President Xi Jinping and Hu Jintao said about the reforming of opening up and no one left behind. So that's quite impressive. Every year I come to China, it feels like I'm 10 years ahead of humanity.
Right, well, we get that every day when you live here. Conrad?
Yeah, we're sharing the mics here. So I'm from Hong Kong, and I think it gives me a really interesting perspective because I feel like every big stage of my life, like I've at some point been to China, been to mainland China, and been to Beijing. So when I was a kid, I did a summer camp here, and basically experienced college housing, right? So it was very interesting, right? And then sort of in my college years, I actually got a scholarship to come here and lived in Wudao, which has completely changed since, right? You know, back then there was still like a cow carriage on the street, right? And like we're still trying to navigate traffic like that, and you know, like throughout my career, right? Like I was doing finance stuff. We went to we're setting up an office in Guomao, right? And now I'm much more into tech and entrepreneurship. And so, you know, it's a whole different area, and I'm realizing like every single time, oh wow, this is another area that I haven't seen in Beijing, right? So, yeah.
Well, thank you. Oh, by the way, I just showed this band. This is not a hospital band, it's a Tencent band. I look insane wearing this. Yeah, okay. I've been following you guys on your digital tour of China over the past 6 days. And let's go from north to south. But I would first like to start with the first timers, you two. Because, the other day you went on a digital tour specifically of Beijing. Now I was wondering, and I'm sure many other people are as well, what were your expectations and what was the reality of things like?
Yeah, thank you so very much, first of all, for giving us this beautiful opportunity to speak at this distinguished forum right now. And being a Pakistani journalist, I'm like very touched, and it's very fascinating and astounding for me for first time here in China. Because whatever we heard about China, it's like since our childhood time that Pak, Chin, Dosti, Zindabad. Every time we heard these words since the beginning, but we not feel it. So now this time when I'm first time here in China from Pakistan, it's like I'm feeling it with each and every bit of it and every moment I really enjoyed. The first thing which is very important and I have seen here and which really surprised me at the same time, which gives a very good feel of it, that the country has become a currency free. They say that when you want to grow your economy, when you want to protect your economy, you need to really care of your currency because it's really important. So what I've seen here that it's currency free and everybody in every walk of life is just using digital application and digitalization in their normal way of life. And without any discrimination. Like discrimination means like in every walk of life and in every class, like upper class, middle class or lower class, they have just eradicated, and by eradicating the poverty as well. So they are giving a chance to each and everyone equal an opportunity to face or to feel or to avail the opportunities same wise. So this is something which is very good for me, because in Pakistan, like, we are facing this problem these days nearly and very badly, like about the fluctuation of the currency, due to which that actually suffers our businesses as well. Like, I belong from a business background, like my family has a joint business with the other families in my relation. So like, we face this thing that if we take in orders in some other valuation, and then in a day or two the currency devalue or the valuation of currency changes, so like you cannot compete the competitors in the market with fulfilling your orders in the same timeline which you need to give them back. So this is a major problem. So this makes the economy amazing, like, and strong as we are watching it and or as we are seeing it. So this is something which is very fascinating for me, like to provide trust and assurance to your people, because these two factors really important for any country to give their people, to just provide them the level of trust and of course support as well.
Yeah. And interestingly, Gibran is also from Pakistan, so, well, we've had the history bit.
I think Greta has covered a lot of things, so I'd like to touch the grassroots levels. As far as your question was concerned, that I think I came with a very open mind, with a mind of to learn and to understand things. Obviously, I understood that I'm going into a developed country from a developing country, so I really came up with a fresh mind, with a blank slate, and I wanted to give China a complete option, complete chance to rewrite what has been given us through the propaganda of media. So when I came here, obviously I saw things. I saw digitalization. I saw digital economy, which Rida very well mentioned. So I'm not going to say it again. We're short on time. But things that I would like to mention in this is, like, when I walked the streets of Beijing, I saw people using bikes. I saw people using scooties. I saw people using cars, metros, subways, anything that's available for transport, anything, but all of them had one medium of transaction. That was either through WeChat or Alipay. That created a sense of harmony, that created a sense of unity. The thing is that in many cultures, I'm not going to say just Pakistan, because there are many other countries just like Pakistan, I think we suffer this. We suffer the lack of unity through means of communications, means of technology. So the people who are from a substandard point of view or less educated, they are not able to use that technology. But whereas over here, in my last few days, I also came to know that about 52.7% of the senior citizens of China use WeChat and other online features to order things. So this is something that really changed my mindset. This is something that gave me a fresh look at this thing. So I'll take that back with me and use that as my advantage.
Nice. Well, Conrad, you already mentioned Wu Daoko, so I'm going to shift to this side. You're not newcomers, so what has stood out to you, especially during this tour? And could you maybe sum it up in like 2 sentences? Donatien, you may
Yes.
begin.
Thank you. I have been actually a Think Fellow in the Think Fellowship of Tencent, and I have also been working with CICG, and combining those together, they both gave me the opportunity to participate in different activities, including the ones to help the needy in different areas of China. And through this visit, I have got to again experience how technology is being used for the good of the people, where we use our steps to donate.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that in a bit, but do go on, yeah.
Yeah, some little money to those who need it. And it made me think of how these giants of technology, they are not here to just to do the coding and giving the apps. They are also taking care of the social responsibility where they are trying to protect the environment, where they are trying to help the vulnerable groups. So that has really amazed me, and it keeps amazing me. Yeah.
Keeps amazing you. Trang?
The highlight of my trip is actually the trip to 传美大学, so in which I saw a group of young people, healthy people, working day and night to help visually impaired people to enjoy films. So they were recording films so that the blind people could feel and could enjoy the cinema, and that was the most emotional moment in my trip.
Yeah, I know about that story. Beijing Review covered it a few months ago, I remember. But it is actually beautiful to see. I'm so sorry for using that word, perhaps. But yeah.
Well, my impressions as not a newcomer, as the first time, the air quality is getting better and better every year in China. And it was the first time I was in Shenzhen. It was a city of technology and digital hub. But what impressed me the most in Shenzhen was the size of the port. And I come from Brazil, which is a major agricultural powerhouse, and its economy runs around exports. And seeing the size, the scale, the infrastructure, and knowing that all the high value added exports of China, most of them come from there, from that side of China. It scares me, but in a good way, and I was very impressed by that. And also for something that we saw on the media, it was about the first goal of the centenary of the CPC, the achieving a prosperous society in modern, in all aspects. I could see that from my eyes as well, in all over China. Since payments, digital payments, the way people use public transports, and also philanthropy and charity.
Yeah, they're all coming up together. And we're circling back to what Donatien just mentioned. I want to start with Conrad. One thing that stood out to me, there was kind of a slogan almost on your trip, Tech for Good. Well, it was in the video as well, guys. I mean, you all saw it if you were watching. And yeah, so I'll definitely get back to you on that. But you guys counted your steps, and every 10,000 steps, for every 10,000 steps, Tencent would donate 1 renminbi, so 0.40 US dollars, to, yeah.
Oh, to different charities. Sorry.
Thank you. No, I couldn't think about it, so thank you.
So it's actually to a charity of your choice, and to clarify for Tencent, the Tech for Good slogan is actually the Tencent slogan. So that is actually their model for how they operate, which I find very inspiring. I think the really cool thing about the whole charity ecosystem that we've experienced that is different from the rest of the world is that it's able to happen because everything, going back to the big theme of a digital economy and digitizing everything is happening interconnected and online, right? So different apps can now connect to each other and say hey, you walk this much and now you can donate this much, right, to this different thing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And how many steps?
Not a lot for me, but
okay, yeah, okay. Next, hopefully a better answer from the next. You can go to Rita. Let's just go like that, and then
yes, please.
Like that.
So my impression, okay.
Yes, the Tech for Good, and how many steps?
Okay.
Mostly how many steps?
Actually, I just missed that part on that day because I was not feeling well. So
okay,
yeah.
Gibran.
But
Did anybody?
But on the same time, if I take about my impression, that's the same one which we went in the university and we watched the program of visually impaired people. That was an amazing, and it really touched my heart.
Yeah, we're trying. That's beautiful. I think, Conrad, do you want to add a?
I'm usually 3,000 steps.
Okay, it starts with 10,000 steps, but okay, sure.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
I think initially when we did that, we went out on Beijing. That day, I think I donated about 6,000. But overall, till then, I've I think donated about 16,000 steps, 16,100, something like that, because even last night I did that, because yesterday we walked a lot as well. And as far as far as as far as the impression is concerned, I really I have this sense of habit that I like to critically analyze things, the reason behind it or the concept behind it. So the concept of donating steps, I know it goes for a very good thing like Tencent charity and everything like that, but the overall concept of creating this thing that you get to walk and then you use the walk steps to donate, and then the donation goes in terms of currency to a specific charity. It's a very beautiful concept of having the public getting engaged, and at the same time, it is also benefiting the public. It's not like just a charity or just Tencent saying, hey, we've got this much amount of steps. At the same time, it's a health benefit for us. So, I mean, I feel that this is the most important aspect of it, that even if we're giving it, this step technology, this concept is giving back to us as well. So for me, that's what I'm going to take back.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
China does have a national fitness program. It's been in place since
I
2015.
I can see
They're
every
upping the
Chinese
game.
really healthy and fit, and I'm already jealous about that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Donatien, you already touched on it, so finish what you were going to say.
Yeah. Continuing from what he was saying, actually this concept, the way I understand it, it's like doing good for yourself as you also do good to others. And this concept actually revolves around this whole big spirit of giving back to community, and actually helping the country and helping the humanity to reach many goals, not only the goals of tech and things related to tech only. I remember during the first cohort of Think Fellowship, I was allowed to go to Guizhou to participate in philanthropy activities, and I found different initiatives which are participating in this Tencent charity, and I also assisted in different ways young kids, young children who are from the families which are poor to actually be able to access education. I have experienced that, and in that time, even now, I'm still thanking Tencent Charity for actually allowing young minds, young people to develop and to be the future of China and the future of the world. Concerning the steps.
How many?
Actually, my daily goal is set on 10,000. Actually, before I didn't know that we could donate the steps. During a meeting when they explained it to us that we can donate the steps, here. I started donating the ones I have, actually, yes. And I have seen in these cards we have that there is even the app of Didi. That one, actually, when you are going to call a taxi, sometimes they advise you something like, do you want to walk instead and get some points?
You get it on Kauto as well.
Yes, So all of these tech giants here, they have this responsibility of making sure that people are healthy, and that being healthy can also help others in different aspects. Yeah.
Thank you. Trang, how many steps?
About 7,000, but I don't remember.
What were you people doing all week? I'm sorry. Sorry, no, yeah, but okay, about the tech for good.
You're asking about us like daily, right?
No.
I'm a runner, so maybe that explains my reaction. Yeah. Go on, Trang, I'm so sorry.
So it's not, for me, Tech for Good, it's not just about charity. It's about the idea, the design of technology. Yesterday, Elan from Tencent, Yifan, told us a story behind the QR code. So it's more than the story of convenience, but also the story of the idea of social inclusion. So with the QR code, even the street vendors with low level of literacy can trade and can pay.
True.
So for me, that is impressive. And behind the idea of QR code and the production of QR code is tremendous amount of hard work of people of different levels of education. It's a constant process of 学 and 思. And for me, that is tech for good as well.
Thank you. Felipe?
9,000 steps.
Thank you. See, he's answering
Yes.
the question. I like that. Yeah, okay, go on. And the tech for good
Well,
concept.
my impressions, they were very positive as well, because we all got internationally when Xi Jinping said that China must push forward towards the third allocation, which was philanthropy actions. I mean, after the reform of opening up, distributing well the cake, making the cake big to share later. So, and philanthropy is one of the aspects of this phase of China, and how technology is catching up to that. Reminds me of how it is pragmatically applied and developed here in China.
Yes, online charity programs are indeed growing and getting better regulated, like every couple of months, which is also important, regulation.
And one last thing is that you don't even need money for that. I mean, you can do your money through steps to your health. I mean, that's just incredible, yes.
Yeah. And then, because we have 6 people and 10 minutes, we move to the south of China, where you guys kicked off your tour in Shenzhen. Now, Shenzhen, I was there, last time I was there was blah, 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 May 2020, Greater Bay Area. Saw a lot of, obviously, tech and a lot of AI, which was very impressive. You know, self-driving cars, it's always impressive to see those running down the street. But anyway, in like 5 words, what was your impression of Shenzhen? Starting with Gibran, like 5 words, like tak, 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 tak. Because I have one final question after that, so guys.
I think futuristic, innovation, speed, internationalization, and I guess social cohesion, I guess, because of the technology, yeah.
Huh, nice. Rita, and you can't repeat any of the words he used. No, I'm kidding. 我是开玩笑的。
Yeah, I must say that the future of the world, what I believe, and not only the future, and yes, the future of the Generation Z, tech hub, and industrialization, modernization, digitalization.
Yeah, we're at 6 already. I don't have enough fingers on one hand, so thank you.
Vibrant, but a great ecosystem.
Oh, yeah.
Technology. I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing is helping alleviate poverty, right? And the Future Forward program.
Alrighty.
Yes, I would say speed, quality, quantity, inclusion, and
One left.
obviously there are many, but I'm trying to look the
One
most
finger.
accurate. Yes, and tech for good.
All right. Tencent is like, hell yeah, yeah.
I would say courage to adopt, and advance technology.
Oh, you had time to think about that one. Very nice. Felipe.
Considering other ones, I would say common destiny for humankind and nature.
Oh, they had time to think about it. Don't applaud. They had time to think about it. Okay, so I have one last question, because again, this might seem a bit superficial, but we have 6 people, 35 minutes. It's not a lot of time. Okay, it's so cliche, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Any favorite apps? But no, I didn't even look at the cards. Those cards came after I drafted this very cliche question.
So should I start it?
Yeah, you may, yeah.
Okay. It's WeChat, but
Because we had a little talk, so
yes.
In one sentence,
yes,
you can do
exactly with the word, and just let me allow to few words. WeChat was, I really see, like, and I really wanted to see that in that other application, as we have an option of monetization, so I may allow to suggest this to our experts, that in the future they can add this monetization system in it, or like feature in it, so that the foreigners who wants to use it and make a market, like if I am a journalist and I want, because I cover the foreign affairs a lot, and I have done a lot for CPAC, COVID, floods, the China did with us in a very candid manner and helped us a lot, like in a bilateral relations. So if I want to make my market there, to like post my stuff there to see my market in the China, then I must have a monetization option so that I can earn it as well, or I can make my audience there as like I'm doing with the other applications.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to add, yeah.
唐迅，听他说。Because it is indeed very, I'm just going to add one sentence, it's very difficult when foreigners come to China. If you're a tourist, okay, you might be able to get the digital yuan using a phone number. Let's not get into that right now. That is another option. But WeChat, Alipay, sorry, Tencent. Sorry, but you know what I mean. It's a nightmare. Yeah, Weixin has, by the way, 我们在国内我们应该说微信. We're in China, so we should be saying Weixin, not WeChat.
Okay, with your permission, just one thing more I would like to add, because in Pakistan, you see, the recent census has happened, and in terms of that, we have 240 point something million population, as you have seen in Pakistan, and out of those, we have 68% population of Generation Z, like youth generation, and this year, the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has declared the year of youth. You must know about it. So you, like for China's possibilities, as we are talking about the market, so in Pakistan, we can see like the huge chunk of youth who are seeking for the market, and China is at the same time seeking for the market. So Pakistan would be the great market for it to, like, if you add on these kind of things in the application, so it would be catchy enough.
Well, that's a nice ad for Pakistan, China, noted. Gibran.
Okay, so until last evening, WeChat was my favorite, but something happened that really changed my perspective. I was going back to
We're at Tencent. We're in the lion's
I'm gonna
den.
share it. I was going back to the hotel with my friends, and one of my really good friend happened to not have a tie. And one of my other friend was like, he was like, I have to go to the mall to buy the tie, right? And then the other friend, who is basically a Chinese local, ended up saying us, hey, you can buy a tie from the shopping app. So we were like, what? It's gonna come straight away? And she was like, yeah, it's gonna come straight away. I was like, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So yeah, this is something that I think just surpassed that thing, the need of urgency there and then. That's something that consumers are always looking for. You need things there, and then consumers don't like to wait. You know?
Yeah, it's 2023. We're all greedy. Yeah. let's just own up to it. Yeah. Conrad, favorite app? Oh, no,
Thank you. So, do you guys see what's in common for like all three of these apps? These are all things that make my life a lot easier. So very similar to what Gibran was talking about. Basically, you know, and I think it's not just, you know, like, oh, I'm being lazy, right? Like, I think like what's interesting is that like there's a convenience factor, but there's also like we're helping a lot of people, for example, get for their jobs, right? In the gig economy, right? We're helping a lot of people, you know, if they're physically impaired. My sister just broke her leg, right? Like you know, these are things that are actually bettering people's life, right? And it enables me to do more work and think about the more important things.
No, I'm going to give you your cards. Okay. Here, all of them. You give me the mic. Here, take your little deck there. Yeah. Convenience. Guys, you should cook your own meals, not keep ordering on Meituan, but that's another story. Then I can just take the stage for an hour. Donatien, we have 3 minutes left. So
yeah, thank you.
One.
Need
any help?
Yeah. So my favorite app here in China is this app, WeChat. Actually, it's Weixin. This one is not my favorite only in China. No other app has ever convinced me in the world like this one. Why? I consider this one as a platform. I consider this one as we consider an operating system. Because actually, all of these cards, the apps that we have here, you can still find them hosted as mini apps or as links on this one. And this one, wherever I am, whenever I'm talking to my foreign friends, I always tell them that there is no app that has gone beyond this one yet. So this one is my favorite because it allows me to always use all of these ones you can see on those cards. Yeah.
All right, Trang.
I don't need a million Chinese telephone number to get a link from Tencent Huiyi, and I use it during the pandemic to get access to Chinese scholars' presentations, and I'll still do that in the future.
Oh, that's like the intellectual level. Yeah, we're really basic, all of us. Oh yeah, that's right. You wanted to focus on what we're, yeah, okay.
Well, it's hard to choose one. It's very hard to choose an app. But yesterday we were just going back to the hotel in Adidi, and we were talking about driving in Beijing, that we would never be able to do that until I saw the driver use this app. I mean, it's the map of Tencent, Tencent Maps. It uses 3D reality to show you each lane of the street, so you will not be confused when you're going somewhere, and nobody will beep, 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 saying you're dumb and stuff.
Oh,
and,
dumb, that's what you get?
Yes.
I get a lot worse.
And besides that, the accuracy, I mean, for public transport, for getting a taxi and for everything, it's very accurate. It really shows you things real time. I mean, in the West, Google Maps is very famous, but I never saw something like this happening there. So congratulations.
There you go. Yeah. So 35 minutes on the dot. 1 second. Gibran, Rita, Conrad, Donatien, Trang, Felipe, thank you. And on a final note, Tencent, my favorite app is WeChat as well. Weixin.